Welcome, Teresa Eng from Birmingham, California. She's the Commercial One Insurance Services Inc. Principal Program Manager. She's a wizard of tech, anything tech at Commercial One. Welcome, Teresa. It's a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you, Francis. Thanks for having me. Happy Friday to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, my pleasure to have you. Why don't we just jump in and you tell us your story of origin? I know you've had an only tech career, over quite a while now. Wonderful. And I can't wait for you to tell us all about it.
Sure. Everyone had its humble beginning. I've been in the tech world, fintech, product development for a good part of my career. This is probably the 36th year in my professional career. I've been really around the different industry, Salesforce and, you name it, a lot of the concentration in product development, program management, project management. So, from the 50,000 feet up all the way down to individual contributor and some of the large scale project I was part of. So it had been a great learning experience. And I think the vertical experience plus the horizontal, that sort of the, iterative learning kind
Mhm.
of made me who I am today. And I've pivoted to insurtech just recently, as recent as I think right around pandemic time. So this is the 5th year. And I've just seen technology just boom and as really everyone saw today's SpaceX just went IPO on bunkers. So it's just another example that, it's all about technology, how you enable your company to propel that next leap. So yeah, I'm very excited to what's to come in my
Mhm.
career path.
Mhm. So why do you choose insurance, though? I think that's the first time that you're working for an insurance company.
Right. It's sort of a perfect storm. Insurance I had never really been part of. Financial institution had my exposure in a lot of banking area, private banking. And to me, insurance is always this area that a lot of people have that love-hate relationship. I love insurance, right? But I just don't have very pleasant experience dealing with some of the insurance agent. I'm sure some were wonderful, but I think it's sparked my interest that, oh, I've never been in insurance and I had given a perfect opportunity to join a company. And this company has been, I think, 25 years in business, and we just celebrated the quarter of a century last year. And when I joined, the pandemic really kind of spiked up all the volume in logistic transportation and the trucking logistic area. And the owner didn't really have the right opportunity to bring the technology on board to help automate. So the 25 years in operations are kind of busy working in the background. So it was a good time to really do a reset button to see where can technology be sprinkled in throughout the operation, then help them automate, optimize, etc. So everything was pretty much manual. Excel was everyone's best friend. And then at that time, I just got into the TPMO area and say, what can I do? What can I bring on board? Any SaaS solution to bring on, doing the basic agency management and client onboarding and all that cycle of relationship management. So I brought on to the company and really doing what I had done in the last 30 plus years and really hone into what I learned. I was in one person TPMO, so it really gave me a great opportunity to really dig into, from day one software discovery all the
Mm.
way to sustaining the hypercare, etc. So that's how kind of me got into insurance was really in the perfect storm. We need someone like that, but we can't afford a team. So I think it was a perfect match and it given me an opportunity to see everything at full visibility. So I was fortunate. So I've done a lot since then. So can't wait to share my experience with you in the next 10, 15 minutes or so.
So remind us, how long have you been with Commercial One?
About 5 years now. This is my 6th year.
So you arrived pre the whole AI, burst.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
Right at the cusp of pandemic, exiting out, right at the cusp of AI becoming mainstream, the big buzzword, and next to the data lake, big data, and then it came AI, and it's more like walk before we run, and then it's just I was really overwhelmed and inundated with a lot of the company reaching out to us, say, hey, AI can do this and do that. So it was a very interesting trial and error and a lot of the shortlisting vendor experience. So a lot of promises, but nothing really solidified at that time. It was still very premature, or immature, if you will. And a lot of the theories being shared around, but the practical use cases, not so much. But we've evolved a lot since then. So I think I could say I'm very glad to kind of follow the whole journey, a lot of learning, the technical aspect, the data foundation aspect. So again, I was fortunate to use what I learned in the last 30 years to ingest that concept into the whole discovery process.
Wonderful. So, from your perspective, which is the tech department of Commercial One, what is the next level of this endeavor in this department that you're running?
Absolutely. Excellent question. I think when you reach out to me, it was a perfect juncture, perfect timing because we went through a good 18 months of software discovery. We are in the process of replacing our AMS system. And I went through two big platform discovery, and then we decided to go with Momentum AI. And it's a wonderful AMS platform, and AI is in the forefront of everything. So we just kicked off the project. So the next few months will be a very exciting, very intense journey ahead. So that's where we are today in the technology roadmap. So that's what's in store for Commercial One is really emerging everything, as is and the to be, and try to use what AI automation to help us in the different corner of the operation. So
Mhm.
a little bit of legacy analysis and then just kind of the whole impact and transition requirement and looking at and leveraging momentum and see where we could use where feasible for phase one, day one. So there's so much we could do, right? I mean, to me, sometimes I'm like a fear of missing out. Like, tell me what you could do, but maybe we don't need it, right? So it's more looking at a system and use it to optimize it day one, then maybe incrementally put on more functionality. And it seems like momentum, I'm giving them a big plug because I love the company and the chief product officer was just wonderful. And he's so passionate about AI. Yeah, it's amazing. So I'm very excited.
Spectacular. How many people work for Commercial One?
We have about 30 people. Hi.
30 people. Yeah. In tech, you're the one, huh? In tech.
I'm the only one in TPMO, and I have a few catalysts or super user from cross-functional that will be helping me
Mm.
on the project implementation because at the end of the day, it's the user who would want to adopt a new system. So I want to make sure that I have the right people on my project team to make things happen.
Mhm, mhm. So you spoke about a product development person. So what does this person do in the insurance for the trucking industry?
Sure. So just looking at our internal org structure, we have the data team, which really is fully responsible for client onboarding and responsible for the entire intake process.
Mhm,
We have a bunch of different questionnaire depending on really the type of client, right? Within commercial world, there is like, if you see truck on the highway, are they delivering produce from Fresno to San Francisco or cross state? And so we're licensed in 48 states. So we're really depending on the profile and segment of the coverage the client needs with a long questionnaire. They will fill out the questionnaire, collect all the necessary document, and complete the pre-quote packet. And they would vet through all the safety scoring, the NVR, etc. So they will put the packet downstream to the submission team. The submission
mhm,
team is responsible getting quotes from various carriers, 2 to 3 max, and
mhm,
present the best quote to our client and then whether or not client accepts a quote or negotiation and all the way to binding or if the lead never get converted that might be the case and then our producer in the submission team will follow up but in the happy path when the policy is bound they're responsible to nurture the client relationship right any changes in driver any changes in power unit any changes at all they're responsible to maintain that relationship third but not last is our claim management team and we offer a full glove service all the way to claim closure. So we handhold their client or walk the journey with our client every step of the way, making sure that they provide all the pertinent information like photo, footage, witness, police report, and collaborating with the adjuster, getting the statement, and all the way to like getting estimate and repair. So the full cycle of claim management, if you were to relate to your personal side and if someone had an accident, I report it our claim management will hold, sort of handhold the client and manage the whole process all the way through to closure. And of
Mhm.
course, we will work the best interest of our client and we want to make sure that they're educated. I think for the most part, the claim team is really what set our company apart. A
Mhm.
lot of the agencies or even MGA or any, the broker of the world, they don't have a very sophisticated claim management team. It's
Mhm.
operation and technology embedded that kind of fulfill the whole claim ecosystem. So of all the people I talked to, they gave high praises to Commercial One simply because we stood up a very comprehensive claim management team. And in return, the end state is all the data we collect from all the claim process side of the house. We use those data to augment our decision making. So I really look forward to really transform those data sets into a more insight information, and hopefully we can produce some of the periodic report to
Mhm.
send to our clients and to be really proactive, not reactive in that
Mhm.
fashion. So yeah, so that's our operation, and every day's different, but everyone is very busy because just a lot of high touch points from nurturing the client, managing their endorsement, getting payments, getting refunds. So it's just like you name it, they touch every part of the whole operation life cycle.
Mhm. Understood. And so, in this journey of AI, as of now, and your objectives, I'm sure you set yourself some goals with, as you said, you work in the intersection of business and technology. So, where are you at in this journey as of now? Do you feel like you've accomplished what you had set out for in that first phase or second phase of AI? Or from 1 to 10, where are you at in terms of
Sure.
not
I
the
was
top, but
three, maybe. It's very conservative. I think during the discovery process, I have to come up with a lot of the sort of the critical use cases, right? The best bang for the buck, more of a high priority, high benefit use case that where AI can play a big part. So I collected some of the key use cases throughout the whole operation. So I would say I'm pretty comfortable walking into the project day one from, sort of communicating the requirements, setting up the system configuration, the automation, the workflow. I'm pretty comfortable coaching or providing guidance with our project team to partner together to set up the sandbox. So I would say I give a score of three, knowing the entire landscape. I'm just scratching the surface, but I can know where I need to dig deeper. I know where to go, who to go to, or who could help me be part of the task ownership. So a three is a good comfortable score at this juncture. From today to go live, we'll have a few months to kind of noodle around, to really explore around. And
Mhm.
AI will be a big part from really the upstream to down. Like a quick example would be compare quotes, right? Let's say we receive three quotes from three carriers, and there's different idiosyncrasies with each, and the price might be different. And because certain assumptions or safety issues, AI could easily summarize all three and present the price and also the delta and the recommendation, really where the sweet spot is, and sometimes the lowest premium with the best coverage might not come in at the lowest cost. So
Mhm.
I think that
Mhm.
the good sort of a summary, looking at all the data and present to our submission producers right in front of them is more of a comparison documentation to be able to present to client and answer all their questions, anticipating all the questions they might ask. The task today is not being digitized, if you will. So if the quotes come back, we'll file away the PDF. And if the client takes one of the three quotes, we'll proceed with binding. So a lot of the excellent, great information, great history, the great rating engine, if you will, those sort of, it's a secret sauce to coming up with the best quote for client, right? So with a lot of secret sauce come into the algorithm. So that information is not being used today.
Mhm.
I'm hoping it will in the future with momentum. And plus, the predictive analysis piece of it, right? So if the renewal coming up for this client A, for example, 30 days out, I would be kind of putting a case study together and say, hey, AI, come, please recommend the two best carrier that will meet this client's profile, safety profile, and then tell me where the target price would be that is likely to convert that into actual renewal, something like that. And a click of a button, a decision is made for our producer, right? Because today it will be back and forth email and all that stuff. So I think if we were to be in the position that are ready, complete, and the conversation back to the adjuster, or I'm sorry, the underwriter will be a lot more meaningful. And
Mhm,
I know on the underwriting world, AI is a big part too. So a lot of the rating, the variables, AI turns it, right? So
mhm,
we understand how the game works. So we want to be one step ahead of them so that we have a bit more leverage. So
mhm,
in short, AI will play a big part from really the day one upstream to getting a home all the way to managing the claim process. So I'm just giving you an example that something that would take us maybe a good half day to do, maybe less than 10 minutes, it will be done,
yeah.
plus retaining great data.
So tell us a little bit about your clients. How big are they? Are they themselves using AI today beyond just the ChatGPT email writing?
Not so much. They're on the road all the time. I think safety, logistic, and really trying to get the best bidding of, I guess, the load. So I think the logistic front end of the business is like they want to bid the load, right? So they want to make sure that they are utilizing their driver, utilizing their power unit. They're always on the road. There's no idle time, for example. So AI is not quite I would say, a very important part of their business in terms of bringing in revenue. But I would say in the future, maybe the near future, safety, when you have a great, reliable telematics, they could use those information to help the driver to
Mhm,
be on the more of a safe side. And there's early warning alerts that can be resulted as a good training program. So there's a lot of good feedback from the telematic data. So that's how I see AI could help our
mhm,
clients.
mhm,
And other than that, their goal is to bring in business, right? So if the
mhm,
trucks are idle, that's not good. So they're constantly looking for a bid, and they have a good network of circle to making sure that they're always afloat.
mhm, mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
And when they interface with you, do you feel like there's a discrepancy culturally between them and your company in terms of adoption of the solutions? And if so, is it a problem or how do you mitigate this? If it is, yeah.
It's a great question, right? So I think the commercial side of the house from B2B versus B2C, the mindset is very different. So B2B, it's very much equal footing. But when you talk about B2C, there's a lot of variable in our clients' culture, where the upbringing and a lot of the priorities are different.
Mhm,
So I would say the challenge is always there. So we just onboarded the most recent technology we onboarded that interface with our client is the e-payment solution, right? So in the past, they would send us a check, for example, or send us a wire or something like that. Now that with the e-pay solution, everything is digitized. So we will send them a payment link for full pay or installment pay, and they will just make the payment. And our team is to make sure that that link automatically match with the invoice that was billed, and then they will
mhm,
create receipt to match that. So that's really a baby step forward. Other transactions, we are hoping to identify those use cases throughout the whole requirement journey on momentum implementation to see where we can add value with our
mhm,
client. They don't really have the luxury of time to ramp up in technology because they're always on the go. Always on the go. And I think the other aspect, as I mentioned earlier, we could provide insights or
yes.
using technology to educate or raise the awareness with our clients on the safety side of the
Mhm.
house.
And what's the size of your clients? I'm not talking about the drivers, but in terms of number of employees, what's the average size of your clients?
We have over 4,000 clients. They come in various sizes, so I don't know the mix. So there's owner, and then I'm sure there's an operating or safety manager, and they have drivers. So we have one power unit all the way to over 200 power units. So it's a big
Mm,
spectrum of our client segmentation.
okay. Okay. Not easy. Not easy, when you have such.
Not easy,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so the VIP clients, the way we interact is very different than having one person owner out, right? A different scale, but we provide the same excellent service to them.
Mm,
And really, this day and age with information available at the fingertip, I think a lot of information or misinformation is available. Our companies do ground solid based off of all risk. We
mm,
don't use anything, we spend $0 in marketing. It's all word of mouth.
mhm,
So the trucking logistics community is very tight knit and there's a small world. So based off of the reference to continue to grow says a lot about our company. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Is there any message that you would like to leave behind for our audience, about your company, about Commercial One and what they can expect from you in the future, or what are your commitments to your clients? Any message that you would like to leave from a tech perspective?
Absolutely. That sounds like a request for a marketing flyer.
Mm.
So it's a one pager elevator pitch. So I say if I have the opportunity to give a small fireside talk is that business is struggling these days, right? So with the high inflation, with some of the uncertainty in the future, I would say stand firm and try to continue to nurture client relationship because relationship goes a long way. And I think in times of challenges and tough times, really, relationship comes into a big play and loyalty comes into big play. I would say continue, the culture, work in the relationship. And in terms of, I would say, the challenging times, always look at technology. If you have the downtime, take up a technology, really the course or classes to really stay relevant and educate
Mhm.
yourself. Commercial trucking, I think there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. So I'm using this sort of lead time to bring our company, uplift our technology in our company landscape. And then maybe in the future, hopefully soon, the volume will pick up, the economy will improve, and we're ready for it, AI especially. Definitely do not leave behind, do not feel the complacency, and always educate yourself, keep learning. Relationship is absolutely number one, doesn't matter what you are in your face,
Yeah.
personal, professional, it will take you a long way for sure. So that's what I want to leave the audience is really keep your integrity, keep your relationship going.
And what about your 30 employees internally? What is the state of the union in terms of their adoption or their adaptation to AI?
Sure, they are very excited. They're very excited. I think one thing that I would caution the audience that are looking into hopping into the AI digital transformation journey is that you have to make sure to look into your company's landscape and identify truly where your problem statements are, right? If things are working, don't break it. And I would definitely look at the entire operation life cycle and identify the key problem statements or areas that you want to improve on and formulate really a work plan and pilot it, sell it, and talk to the users before you go out and buy a technology stack. That's the last thing you want to do. You want to really spend time. I would say day zero, I refer to the program management rules. Day zero activity is very, very important.
Yes, yes.
Skip it because a lot of company will sell you a lot of bells and whistles. Oh my God, that looks so sexy. That looks so easy. I like to, it's a big mistake. So I would say take your time to really understand your company's operation culture. To me, there's three P's, right? People, process, and platform. I put platform solution at the end. People, number one. Always want to make sure you understand how they operate, their pain points, what works, what doesn't. So the three P's is what I really should go to when I try to integrate technology into operation.
Understood. Well, thank you so much, Teresa. I think you've shared so much of your lifetime experience, really, that you put together in the service of this company today. It's really interesting and a pleasure to have you to hear all those things. And I can't wait to see more transformation happening at Commercial One.
Likewise, thanks for having me. Thanks for this wonderful opportunity. And I'm here to learn as well. So I look forward to tap into your other podcasts and to hear what other people have to say.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate Teresa.
Thank
Okay, have a good rest of
you.
your day. All the very best with this transformation that you're in the middle of. Yeah, that's really
Thank you so
exciting.
much. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Have a
Of
good
course.
one. Good luck to you
My
as well.
pleasure. Sure.
Bye bye.
Absolutely. Bye, Teresa.